Branding process have been practiced in multiple ways with different areas of focus and priority. And there are multiple models people practice that we can follow. Out of all these recognized practices, there are four branding models found unique and very common in practice. First branding model found very common is cultural branding, where culture is the main frame. The second branding model found common in practice is mindshare branding. Here, efforts are directed towards positioning the product into a well-defined context. The third branding model found common in practice is emotional branding. This model is based on associations and its related impact on branding. The fourth branding model found very common in practice is viral branding. It is short-term buzz created by marketer to gain the attention. These models are unique to specific internal and external business environment, and they are based on multiple differentiating aspects. To find the role of each model and in-depth understanding of each differentiating elements, there are 8 aspects on the basis focus, priority and actions need to be modified. The first differentiating aspect is the key word used for the reference of a brand. It differs in different models. When marketing activities are based on cultural branding model, the brand is referred as the cultural icon, whereas the brand is referred by a unique, specific and differentiating property known as brand DNA when the marketing activities are based on mindshare branding model. It is also called brand essence, brand USP or an onion model. When the marketing activities are based on emotional branding model, the brand is referred by its personality and its experience with consumers. Lastly, the brand is referred by its stealth marketing and buzz created by brand when the marketing activities are based on viral branding model. The second differentiating aspect is the way brand is defined by the company. It differs in different models. When marketing activities are based on cultural branding model, the brand is defined as the container of identity myth. Whereas when the marketing activities are based on mindshare branding model, the brand is defined as a set of abstract and associations. The brand is defined as a relationship partner when the marketing activities are based on emotional branding model. And finally, when the marketing activities are based on viral branding model, the brand is defined as a communication unit. The third differentiating aspect is the way branding process is defined by the company. It differs in different models. When marketing activities are based on cultural branding model, the branding process is towards performing the identity myth. Whereas when the marketing activities are based on mindshare branding model, the branding process is focused into developing associations. The branding process is centered towards developing relations with consumers when the marketing activities are based on emotional branding model, and when the marketing activities are based on viral branding model, the branding is mainly about spreading viral messages via lead customers. The fourth differentiating aspect is the key factor needed for the success of the brand. When marketing activities are based on cultural branding model, performing a myth that addresses the acute contradiction in society is the key for the success of a brand. When the marketing activities are based on mindshare branding model, a consistent expression of association is the key. Whereas when the marketing activities are based on emotional branding model, deep interpersonal connection with consumers is needed for success. And finally, broad circulation of virus is the key element when marketing activities are based on viral branding model. The fifth differentiating aspect is about finding the most appropriate application of the model. When the business need development of a specific identity category, cultural branding model is the ideal approach. When the business and products are complicated and belong low involvement and functional categories, mindshare branding model should be the ideal approach. Special product category service oriented businesses are ideal situation for emotional branding model. Generally, viral branding model is used for new fashion or new technology in business. Next differentiating aspect is to study the role company plays in branding. It also differs in different model. When marketing activities are based on cultural branding model, the company plays a role of an author of cultural contradiction. Whereas when the marketing activities are based on mindshare branding model, the company plays the role of continuous expression of DNA in all activities. When the marketing activities are based on emotional branding model, the company plays a role of a good friend. And when the marketing activities are based on viral branding model, the company plays a role to motivate right customer to advocate the brand. Sources of customer value is the next differentiating aspect to study. Again, it differs in different model. When marketing activities are based on cultural branding model, the uniqueness of identity is the major source of value addition. Whereas the ability of a company to simplify the decision making is considered the major source of value addition when marketing activities are based on mindshare branding model. The strength of relationship add value to the branding when marketing activities are based on emotional branding model. Finally, when the marketing activities are based on viral branding model, being cool and fashionable add value to the objective. Last differentiating aspect is to study the role company plays in branding process. When marketing activities are based on cultural branding model, consumers play a role of experiencing the myth when using the product and personalizing the brand myth to fit individuals' biography. When the marketing activities are based on mindshare branding model, consumers play the role of perceiving benefits when buying and using the product and ensuring that the benefits become salient by repetition. When the marketing activities are based on emotional branding model, consumers play their role interacting with brand and evaluate relationship. Lastly, when the marketing activities are based on viral branding model, consumers play a role of discovering brand by their own and make it the word of mouth.